Guess how common. Guess where DJ ranks among men. I think among American men for names.
Top 100.
What?
Brunch.
Hit it, boys! It's Wednesday, and April Fool's Day has just begun.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Let's
make it let's be the people that like April Fool's Day jokes and think that they're really funny. And every time we see one, we're like, "Oh no,
got him!
How did I know? How did I not know?"
That's
today?
the good stuff,
right? Oh man, what a! I forget who said it, but somebody on Twitter was like, "April Fool's Day is the one day a year everyone who isn't funny thinks like." I'm going to try to be funny. Today it's Be Funny Day, and nobody's ever funny.
I saw a great tweet yesterday, and it was April Fool's Day is the one day a year girls can dress like sluts and nobody can say anything about it.
Oh, God.
Because that's the joke that's reserved for Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I didn't know what the joke was there.
That tweet literally exists for Halloween.
Yeah.
And somebody just made it about April Fool's Day, and I thought that was fucking amazing.
Nice. I like applying other stuff to April Fool's Day, like just like Thanksgiving family stuff.
You sat down together, had a nice dinner with the fam for April Fool's Day.
And then followed up with April Fools. They've all left.
It should be illegal for April Fool's Day to fall on a Monday.
Why? Because you're already in a bad enough mood?
Yeah, you're already in a bad mood.
People
like, you're
are already
groggy
annoying
from the
you
weekend,
enough. Yeah.
And like people are trying to pull a fast one on you.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not for me on Mondays.
Is it okay to start an April Fool's Day joke early and then on April Fool's Day cash in on it?
Have the reveal?
Yeah.
I think it should be, because that's like the only way.
That's the only way you
get
can
away
get
with
people,
one.
right?
Yeah.
But it's fake though. It doesn't count. You don't get credit.
Like
for
if
it.
Gronk came out on April 1st and was like, "Just kidding."
just kidding. Yeah, because there was the Fire Festival 2 announcement.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It
What was that, like, beforehand?
Mark Cuban and Ja Rule, and it was sometime over the weekend. And I don't know if they ever acknowledged that it's a joke. Maybe it's not a joke. Who knows?
That'd be hilarious.
If anyone is dumb enough to experience all of Fire Festival and then say, let's give this a second whirl, it would be Ja Rule. And if anyone would be crazy enough to jump in on that, it would be Mark Cuban.
I think Mark Cuban's probably smarter than that.
Right, but he's smart, but he's crazy.
That's
he's a
true.
wild card.
But I feel like if Mark Cuban was in on it, it would be somewhat of a success.
I remember calling at the time, there's going to be a Fire Festival 2 at some point.
Yeah,
and
there
it's
definitely
going to
is.
be a huge draw. In fact, I, conspiracy theorist that I am, I wasn't buying the Fire Festival stuff as it was happening. I was like, this was clearly, they intentionally wanted to be a disaster, turn into a meme, and next thing you know, everyone's talking about it. I made the comparison at the time. Like, it was exactly how Trump got elected.
Well, I mean, Firefest now, as a result of everything that happened, is way bigger than it would have been had everything gone smoothly.
Oh yeah, I remember when people were watching the documentaries, people were like, "Do you remember that stuff actually happening at the time? Like, were you keeping up with it?" A lot of people just missed the whole Firefest thing.
I think we discussed it on the podcast,
Yeah.
like right after it happened.
Oh, you know that was like that was a weekend or a week if you wanted it to be, but that was a full thing.
And then there was the NDA thing, the article that got posted.
That
we
was
talked
the best.
About that
One
was
of the great kickers in journalism history.
Who would have ever thought, like, reading that kicker, or not the kicker, but reading that article and hearing about like the famous speech that Ja Rule gave?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that one day we'd be able to lay eyes upon it and like feel like we were there?
In hindsight, should have been us. We should have thought that. It all comes out. All the stuff, all the conversation with Robert Kraft, if they convict him, here's what happens to the video. If they don't convict him, here's what happens with the video. If they file a motion to suppress the video evidence, here's what happens with the video. Here's what happens with the video in every case.
Comes out eventually.
It comes out eventually.
Yeah, but I
At
didn't
some
expect-
point it comes out.
But I didn't expect the entire process of Firefest to be documented.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? the only reason that anybody cares is because it went so poorly.
Because it was a mess.
Like if it
you're
wasn't,
saying like why were they documenting it in the first place?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a shit. I don't want to find out like how Lollapalooza was organized every year.
Yeah. I want to sit through those meetings.
Yeah.
I'm paying money
like the
to
only way
get the good parts.
Yeah. The only way that pays dividend is if you accidentally fuck everything up and it becomes interesting.
You've got to consider though that Billy McFarlane was hiring a crew after all the bad stuff happened to keep filming him, and then at points where they were clearly committing fraud, he was like, only record like half of this.
You're right.
It took
maybe no audio on this part, but keep rolling.
Billy McFarlane, man. Yeah, I don't even know if anybody ever came out and said that was an April Fool's Day joke, so that might be a thing.
I can't wait till Billy McFarlane gets out of jail.
Yeah,
I am so excited for Billy
him.
McFarlane's
like his next
arc.
endeavor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna have a redemption. Will it be problematic? Yeah, it'll be
yeah,
problematic.
it's definitely problematic.
It's a redemption arc.
He ruined like a bunch of people's lives.
Yes, cost a lot of people money. Literally, like so many of the locals just absolutely screwed there. And
like
also,
the bartender
it's a redemption
who had
arc,
to pay out of pocket, like her entire life savings, to compensate all the people that worked.
Right, she was
for her.
feeding feeding all the the
like
the
absolutely
employees.
ruined that woman's life. But like selfishly, I cannot wait for Billy McFarlane to get out of jail just to see what he does next.
Yeah, his redemption arc will be double problematic because in addition to him being a bad guy, it's a redemption arc, which by nature we know
Always
we have to say
problematic.
are problematic. If you've done something bad and then you don't even need to do something good. If you just do anything different, it doesn't matter.
If you are not totally
We don't
consistent
forget.
from A to B, it's a redemption arc.
I gotta tell you, a lot of babies have some problematic redemption arcs. Just shitting all over the place,
Speaking
not
of
listening.
babies,
Yeah.
this guy's an uncle now.
Oh, congratulations!
Hey, thanks.
Congratulations.
It's not exciting. It is exciting, but
Yeah, it
it's
is.
not exciting yet.
First 2 months, it's not really a thing.
Yeah, the baby doesn't do
work
anything.
yet.
He just sleeps all day.
Right.
Doesn't do shit.
Once it hits about 2 months, it does shit. Once it hits
True.
about 2 months, it starts to learn some tricks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wish.
And then
that,
once it starts babbling is when it's really fun.
I wish that my sister just got like a puppy for the next 2 months.
Yes.
Way more exciting.
Yeah. Those, yeah. And a cool thing about a very young baby, a brand new baby, you can look at it, but you still don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's just a thing.
You look at a baby at 1 month versus a baby at 3 months, completely different person. By 3 months, it looks like probably what it's going to look like as a human being. In the first month and a half, just
It's
anyone's
just like
guess.
like a smush. It's just like a thing. It's a orb.
yeah, it's
I don't know what this is.
completely moldable clay. It can in
Choose your own adventure.
from the second it is born until I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months, a baby changes from skin color changes. It changes from guy to girl. It's got hair one day, next day the hair is gone. It is just in constant flux of trying out what it's going to look like. And then roughly at 3 months, it has the
Consistency.
biological term. It is settled.
Yes.
And then generally that's what that baby is going to be like. But when a baby's really fun when it starts babbling. Because it just starts making any nonsense that comes to mind at any time, that's really when it's become a human, because that's what humans do. Just at any point, they're just going to make a bunch of noise and really stir shit up.
Very excited for that.
Yeah. Babies, sneaky great.
My sister's child is named Devin Joseph, and I have a very strong fear that we'll have to refer to it as DJ.
Yeah, Devin's a very good name, though.
I only have room. It is a good name. It's a very good name. I think I only have room for one or two DJs in my life. And you're one.
Yeah.
And I have a friend DJ.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I had reason to look up how common a name DJ is recently. Guess how common. Guess where DJ ranks among men. I think among American men for names.
Top 100.
What?
top 100. Top 100 man name.
Are you serious?
I don't know. No.
I don't know if Pete is top 100.
I don't even know if I can think of 100 names.
We can think of names. Let's do it.
Should we rattle off
this episode?
names?
Yes. Yes. Keep track to make sure we don't repeat. Let's see how many names we can come up with.
Okay.
All right.
Should we go
Adam?
back and forth? Yeah, we want to go back and forth?
Okay.
Adam, Steve,
Andrew,
Bill,
Paul,
Kyle.
You said Bill. That's William. All right. Are we counting that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same name.
Kyle. So that's what are we at? That's 4.
Yeah.
Man. Joseph.
Mark.
Walter. We had to bust a Walter at 7.
Yes. We're already going
This
back
is
to the
exciting.
1960s.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Did we say John?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. John. Yeah. Yeah, that's 9.
Trent.
Tyler. 10.
Ooh.
No, wait.
Sam.
That's 10. Sean. So that's 10 through... Or that's 11 through 13.
Okay. Why?
A million different names that are...
Oh,
Sean.
yeah. Like spelling-wise?
Yeah.
It's a good point. Good point. Paul.
I already said Paul.
Did you? Fuck.
Yeah.
We only got through 12 names before we repeated ourselves.
Yeah. You're not writing these down.
No.
So we don't know. I can't even keep track of the number.
Ian.
Jeffrey.
Matt. Oh, I already said Matt. Patrick.
Ronald.
Sure. Bob.
You keep saying like nicknames.
Yeah. So is it Robert?
It confuses me. Right, Robert. Raymond.
Frank.
Daniel.
James.
I got a twofer. Dion.
Ooh.
Dion. Deon.
Darren.
Michael.
Daryl.
It took us forever to get to Michael.
Yeah.
Daryl. Darnell.
Ooh. Tim and Sid. I saw that on my Twitter feed. There's a twofer for you.
Christopher.
Ken.
Nathan.
Okay, so I think that we've covered a good amount.
No,
of
this
names.
is good. Keep going.
Yeah.
Because I just thought of like 3 more.
Okay. Gritty.
Melvin.
Nice. Justin.
Brant.
Ooh, Brandon.
Brendan.
Brandon.
I'll take Bronson.
Okay.
Let's see. Bradley.
Ooh, Cooper.
Patrice.
Bergeron.
Yeah.
Bergeron's a fine first name.
No, you guessed Bergeron?
Yes.
I don't know who's worse at this.
It's definitely me.
Did we say Peter yet?
Half of my names have come from just looking at Twitter.
That's got to be at least like 15.
Yeah,
We
we've
just
got
did.
15 names. So
Yeah.
there are more names than I expected. But what?
DJ ranks 4,801st.
What?
Yeah. It's not a common name.
That's ridiculous. There's no way that 4,000 names come before DJ.
There's a lot of names.
Like, we just got through 15, and I'm like, my tank is on empty.
I will admit, I had a really hard time during that. Mainly, but I think that if we'd had a list, if there was a list in front of me, every time we said it, boom, it went up, then cool. But doing it off the top of my head, the pressure of doing it on the spot live on a podcast.
Is that like a 2019 ranking? Like a recent ranking? Because these days I've seen some recent like baby name lists, and it's all like fucking like Braden. Caden.
Yeah, I think it might have been one of those things. We were just talking about like what you had said, like how many DJs does a person know in their life, and it's like 1 or 2. So I looked up how common it was. Not very common. shouts out on April Fools to the rendering of like an Amazon. I don't know what that thing was, but there were a bunch of drones around it, and it basically looked like some sort of Star Wars recreation. And it had all the Amazon drones going on, and they were like surrounding this huge thing.
You know what it looked like? It looked like one of those videos of when you kill a pregnant spider and then like a million baby spiders come out of it and scatter. It was like a blimp that just gave birth to a million tiny little aircrafts.
Yeah. So that was... We had to look up whether or not that was an April Fool's joke. We knew it was that it was like a digital rendering or whatever, but we didn't know if it was Amazon working on stuff or whatever. It was an April Fool's joke?
It was.
Okay. Well, terrible April Fool's joke because it didn't become a story until April 2nd. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they're whoever made that joke is embracing April Fool's week where the fun lasts 8 crazy nights.
That would be it. I wasn't on board at the very beginning of you wanting to extend April Fools because I hate April Fools.
I was kidding. April Fools is awful.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I agree. But I also like making April Fools like the purge.
Yeah.
Where it like lasts for a certain amount of time and you got to get it out within that period.
The only time per year you're allowed to joke.
Yes, yeah.
The only time you're allowed to do pranks. Yeah.
No, but it's like the joke purge for people who aren't funny. Like
Yeah.
you have to take some sort of like humor test.
Yeah.
And if you're funny deficient,
Yeah.
then you have to make all your jokes in like a 48-hour span.
Let's call it the prank purge.
The prank purge.
The prank purge. Because I like that. I like someone who's not funny. Someone who's not funny probably also isn't very creative. I like them being left to their devices with like you've got
48 hours.
No, well it's like 12 hours, but it's like you got 12 hours to bang out this prank. Also, it's at midnight, so it's while everybody's sleeping.
So nobody has to be awake for it.
You have to prank everybody while they're in their sleep.
No, that's the worst.
The beginning of their morning.
That's actually probably the worst idea. Like allowing those people free reign while you sleep. Because then they'll piss on you or something and be like, "Oh, April Fools." At least you can see it coming if you're awake.
Only comes once a year. It's the magical time that only comes once a year. All the people who aren't funny pulling pranks on you whilst you sleep. Also, I feel like in order for that to happen, you'd have to also extend everything else in the real purge because theoretically, people are breaking into your home for these pranks.
Yeah, I guess like if the laws don't exist, but people are making jokes instead of killing.
Did you fall for any April Fool's Day jokes?
No, I did not.
I briefly fell for one. I was confused for one. I said, "Wait a second," and that's enough to get you.
Yeah, that happened to me for one, and it wasn't even like a joke really.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Arizona Diamondbacks unveiled the churro burger.
Yeah,
and it was just like it had like a real picture of something that was actually made.
Yeah,
and their joke was like, "Haha, it's not actually for sale." Cool, but you still made it. It's still right there.
It wasn't you have to tell some little lie
You're
there.
right.
You got to say it's for sale, and here's what the cost is.
Well, they did say that it was for sale.
Oh,
But that was the big joke that they made it, but it actually wasn't for sale.
My April Fool's Day joke was that I didn't have a stomach ache. I had such a stomach ache yesterday morning. It was the worst. Oh man,
that was such a classic Deej joke.
What?
I don't have a stomach ache. April Fools. And that was the only time that you acknowledged April Fools for the rest of the day.
I took some people for a ride with that one. The only one I fell for was someone posted a screen grab of the ESPN play-by-play of 76ers game. It said Ben Simmons makes 3-point shot. And I yelled across. I was at work. I yelled across the newsroom. I was like, "Yo, is there video of Ben Simmons making where's the video?" Oh, that's why I'm dumb. But it got a few people.
It was well edited. I will say that all the replies when I checked the tweet, it was like I had to go check the box score to see if this was real. So
there were some really obvious April Fool's jokes that I don't get how people fall for them. Like, if you don't have your wits about you on April 1st, like I do not care about it. I think the April Fool's stuff is very, very lame. But I've been alive.
Yeah, but I think it's also very easy to forget that it's April Fool's. Like, that April 1st is April Fool's.
Do you think that that's maybe what April Fool's initially was?
Yeah, it was just like
because back in the day, you didn't know what. I mean, we don't know what day it is now because we're stupid. But back in the day, you never knew what day it was. You didn't have a shiny thing in front of you at all times that said what day it was.
Calendar around with you.
You needed a calendar to know what day it was. And if you asked somebody what day it was, they would say, "Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me go check." They'd go find a calendar, check that calendar, and then come back. Nowadays, if I want to know what day it is, figure that shit out in 2 seconds.
Right.
So generally, people, I think back then, maybe April Fool's was more of a, gotcha, it's April 1st, you stupid idiot. Check your calendar more. Like, it's the
you have
1
to, like,
year,
check
1 day
the
a year.
positioning of the sun.
Yeah.
And, like, get the temperature and be like, oof,
I think that April Fool's Day
April
was a yearly reminder to not go too long without looking at the calendar. It was like a daylight savings type situation.
What if we like tried to fix April Fool's by just assigning it one random day of the calendar that's like way harder to remember?
No, we could also do on April. We could counteract April Fool's and say, "No, it's not a joke," and then have a lot of serious things. I actually did. I saw like an announcement thing. I don't know if I retweeted it, but it was like, "Yo, you know what's probably an offensive thing to do? Post on Instagram, we're pregnant. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. But we can't get pregnant anytime we want to. You know?
Yeah. You
like,
know who did that?
Who?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, he did.
Bieber literally did that yesterday.
I've seen every year or over the years at points I've seen like, hey, just a reminder, don't make jokes about being pregnant. Like, don't take that lightly.
Tag the movie.
Oh my! I still can't believe that happened.
No, man.
That was Jesselnick level, where it was so terrible that
it's so over the top.
It was just it was so not even trying to act considerate that you were like, wow, that is just a terrible, deeply, deeply awful joke that's not even going to act like, oh, well, the joke is this. No, you were trying to do the worst thing possible.
If you need to know what we're talking about, go back and listen to the episode where we review the movie Tag.
Did we talk about, were we able to
Yeah, man, because we
put
went
that
through
into words?
Yeah, we went in like a 10-minute discussion of whether or not we should talk about it. Because it
was so bad.
Yeah, and it was like the big spoiler. And then we eventually decided like people need to know this.
Yeah,
if they're on the fence of going to see the movie. And we got feedback saying like from somebody who was like, "I'm so glad you told me that because it has affected me in my life.
Yes,
I'm very glad that I did not go to see that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, people.
It's such a weird situation because I really liked Tag for
Roma,
the most part.
Like the stillbirth scene in Roma, I know a lot of people were like, I know it's part of the story, but that is very, very tough to watch.
Right, but it's supposed to be. Like the most uncomfortable thing about it in Tag was that it was like a punchline.
Right. It wasn't. It was just like it was used to show how far they were willing to go for the sake of this stupid game. And it turns out Jeremy Renner's character is a
monster.
Just, I mean, oh my God, horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
But Bieber did do the Haley's pregnant. Just kidding.
Not
classic
great.
Bieber.
Not great, Biebs.
Justin Bieber had the worst fucking April Fool's Day.
Why? What else did he do?
No, just because Justin Bieber.
Oh,
had the
worst
fucking
birthday. Worst birthday. Yeah. For some reason, I think that that just reminds me of how dumb Zac Efron is, and I wonder, quick Zac Efron heat check: who handles holidays worse, Justin Bieber or Zac Efron?
I'm so proud of my growing adult son, Zac Efron, who did not make a social media post on Martin Luther King Day this year about how many followers he
was it
reached.
Instagram?
I think it was Instagram.
Said grateful for two things: Martin Luther King and like 1 million followers. Oh man! Oh,
how did that happen?
That's why he can't go on dates.
It's true. Yeah, that's right.
They know too. They know
too much about him.
They know too much about him. Poor Zac Efron.
Have you seen the pictures of Zac Efron recently?
No.
He's got a full luscious head of bleached hair.
Ooh, nice.
And you know it's great having a full head of hair. So
don't I know it? Don't
if you're starting to recede like this guy, get on it. Get proactive, but not the brand proactive. Get proactive about your saving your own hair and get Hims. Hims is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. So if you're starting to see that hairline slowly starting to move backwards, or you're finding any bald spots on your head, go to 4Hims, allow them to correct the situation, rectify it, and you'll feel a lot better about yourself.
And the best part is nobody will make fun of your former hair situation. And even if you choose not to do this, whatever your hair is, if you're bald, you still great person.
Right, and nobody would ever dare call you gross or anything like that.
You're gross for using.
You're right.
For even putting that thought in my head.
You're right. And it's all based on science, and they can cure your baldness. Hims connects you with real doctors.
If that's what you want.
Right. If you're comfortable in your own skin, just in your own hair, or lack thereof.
But what's great about for Hims is they can fix any number of problems or differences you might have.
You're right.
It's not just about baldness.
Right, but they do connect you with real doctors and give you medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. And well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions will help you keep your hair. You know what? No snake oil, no gas station counter supplements, and it's prescription.
You want to talk about gross? Those I'll go on the record. Snake oil, gross. Gas station supplements, get them out of here.
Not trying to get my health routine and products from a gas station. You know what I want from
Although
a gas
stations are great. I kind of get a lot of stuff from gas stations because there's one near my home that's open very late, and sometimes after a bad show, I'll stop in there and I'll get a couple bags of Chex Mix.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
but you know what?
I don't get supplements from there.
No snake oil.
Tell you, no, not even a drop.
There you go. You know what I want from gas stations? I want gas. Nothing else. But you can get prescription solutions not at a gas station, but at 4hims.com. No waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits. Save hours by going to 4hims.com. It's super easy. All you got to do is answer a few quick questions. A doctor will review and prescribe you what you need, and the products are shipped directly to your door. So order now. Our listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today. Right now, while supplies last. That's very repetitive. Restrictions apply. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or pharmacy. So don't do that. Go to 4hims.com/brunch. That's FORHIMS.com/brunch. 4hims.com/brunch. Hey, do you think we'll get in trouble for that, Edward?
I was going to say, I think that we should spill the tea about
address the elephant in the room.
Yes, you've been waiting for it the whole time, and quite frankly, neither of us, we'd just forgotten about it. We would have brought it up much sooner.
I didn't forget about it.
Really?
I have it written down in my show notes.
Oh, okay. We lost a sponsor.
For the year.
What's that?
We got a year ban.
Oh, a year. So we'll be back next year?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
probably
man,
not.
the shenanigans I am going to bank for that. I cannot wait. Oh, man. In a year, when they come back to us, we'll probably have to apologize, hat in hand, the whole nine. And then we are going to do the most horrifying read they have ever heard. There's going to be strippers. It's just going to be like everything that they didn't want us to do. And we'll say, boom, maybe give them the double finger. It'll be a video read. Yeah.
So we got in trouble for the way that we have been approaching some ad reads, and this has been like a week-long problem. It's not an isolated incident. We've gotten complaints from multiple sponsors.
Exactly, it's not a one sponsor thing.
But
you can guess which one though completely jumped.
I made very minimal effort to hide which one like really got upset.
Let's just say
we're still on good terms with all of the other ones except for one.
There's still one more that doesn't like us, or you're saying except for one, the one that left?
No, there are multiple ones that don't like us.
I mean, the one that we just did,
terms.
the one that is a little mad at us.
Yes.
The one that we just did is they said stop calling bald people gross.
Yes, one host continually referred to baldy people as gross. Please advise the host not to shame people.
I don't want to point fingers. Has every single one of the hosts did this been about just one of the hosts?
No, I think that we
Good.
both went in
Okay.
on pretty hard on bald people being
Oh,
gross,
no,
which-
yeah,
which-
yeah.
Incorrect. Sorry.
I'm just
We'll take that back.
Reading some of the specific complaints, I've been like, ugh, I think that one was.
I do think I want to read the email that we got from the company that shall not be named.
Do it.
From the rep. This is from the rep from the sponsor. We need to pull Redacted off this show immediately.
Redacted, huh?
Yeah. Our next spot is 4:15. Is there any way to not have that run due to circumstances of how disrespectful they have been? This is what came directly from the client. Quote, just wanted to add how terribly frustrating it was to listen through that spot and feel a complete loss of control of our brand right there.
This was like there was. They just had to sit there and listen to it. There was nothing that they could do. They didn't know where we were located, so they couldn't drive over to stop us.
There were no digital controls that would have allowed them to pause or stop or fast forward. They were stuck in a room, chained to a chair, and forced to listen to us read their script they gave us.
They gave to us.
They continue. It's really hurtful, and I hope that we'll be able to shift those funds / get a refund. Please remove us and ask them not to air anything with us again. Can you please have Brunch remove the spot that dropped the week of Redacted and let them know that we had to cancel them for the rest of the year? Folks, Brunch has officially been #canceled.
Yeah, we were
We did
canceled.
talk about the fact that we have not been canceled by anybody yet, and we were kind of proud of that.
We've been canceled by some people.
Not officially, not like in cancel season. Cancel season.
I was called a milkshake duck for saying
That's
that
true.
Barstool writers are better writers than Ringer writers.
Yeah.
And
But that was in milkshake duck season. This is cancel season.
Yeah, that's true.
This is
Yeah.
the cancel era, and
Yeah.
we had not been canceled.
That is true. Yeah, we've got a clean slate so far.
Not anymore. We've officially been canceled.
Well, there's nothing we can do here because if we start making it right with Redacted, then it just looks like we're having a redemption arc.
That's true.
That will get us for sure canceled.
It's a real
If
lose-lose
we apologize, then we are toast.
But no, I have absolutely no interest in making amends with Redacted because you know what? Fuck them. We've gotten some really good feedback from like how people receive the ads. And the ad reads. And it's basically the exact thinking that we had when approaching those ad reads is that we're not going to do the same bland reads that every other fucking podcast does.
Let's make the ads something that people will listen to.
And remember.
People don't hit the 15-second skip button through our ads because there's a good chance
sure some people
you're going to get
do,
some
but-
shenanigans. Well, then you're missing shenanigans.
I think the percentage of people who will skip through our ads is lower than your average podcast because they know that there's a chance that things can go off the rails and that there can be humor in it.
Yeah.
And that was our goal.
I'll also say, Redacted, bunch of softies because we are way worse on some of the other reads than we were for Redacted. Redacted, all we did was just say, Redacted, huh? And talk about putting a showroom in your living room. Which I think those were their words, not ours.
Yeah, it definitely was because that's what we sort of mocked them for it. But
Yeah.
I did like one of the responses from a listener was like,
Oh, yeah,
now
what do I
that
do?"
they've canceled, what do I do about this showroom in my living room?
Yeah, are they gonna come get this showroom?
Who do I contact about this? But yeah, it is. The irony is not lost in how drastic the response was to an episode called "In the Red" and us losing a sponsorship for the year.
Hell yeah. Well, we'd rather be in the red than in the wrong. In this case,
true.
we are both.
We're sticking it to the man. This is one of the first.
We're not
true
doing brunch
examples.
for the money. We're doing it for the chicks.
Yes, but also subscribe to our
Imagine
Patreon.
ever saying you're doing something for the chicks. People in human history have done that.
Yes, for
They
sure.
have said, I do blank for the chicks.
Hell yeah.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, we don't do this for the money, but please subscribe to our Patreon, which is patreon.com.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it-
listen to brunch.
Yeah.
We did have a few people. Shout out to a couple of the people who upped their Patreon pledge to $10 per month
That is great.
after the redacted controversy.
That is replacing MoviePass with brunch. That means the world.
Yeah,
to
we
us.
absolutely love you. I wish that I had the names up in front of me right now, but shout outs to those people who upped their pledges to $10 a month. You are the real heroes, not the troops.
And
You.
it's given us some thought as to how we can thank you. The irony is the idea that we have would cost us more than $10 to execute. So by you giving us $10, there's a good chance we will lose money.
more in the
we will
red.
still find a way to lose money. So congratulations to us. Very, very brave. Congratulations to you for upping the Patreon thing, and congratulations to us because Body is back.
Body is back, and you know what? I forgot how much I miss Barry.
As good as ever, maybe better than ever.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I mean,
I rewatched the finale on Sunday before I watched the premiere, and wow, it took me from 100% excited to 3,000% excited, because even just the season finale of season 1 is so hilarious, and you forget how ridiculous the dialogue is in that show. That's what I'd mostly forgotten. I obviously knew it was a dark comedy and that NoHo Hank was a silly character, but everyone's like, so many of the bad guys are just absolute cartoons. The scene in the finale, the torture scene with Fuchs, where they give the guy the buzzsaw,
yeah,
and you just hear Fuchs screaming and the buzzsaw going, and the guy is doing woodworking because he's making stalks.
oh,
Hilarious.
God. It's so fucking funny. Yeah, I totally forgot how much of a ridiculous show this was, and somebody raised the question whether or not it's the. I think it was Vince Mancini, who's at Film Drunk on Twitter. He raised the question: is Barry the best ensemble cast of characters on TV right now?
I decided, I'm glad that you brought this up. I'm out on best show on television talk.
Yeah, I don't care.
Because I've got to like think about other parts of the
Who
year.
cares?
And I mean, I remember Insecure had such a good season. And at some point, I probably said it was the best show on television right now. But I also know that within that calendar year, I'd probably said Better Call Saul or Barry is the best show on television.
So, like, I can only think in terms of seasonal cycles. Like, what's on
Right.
TV right now,
Yes.
what I'm enjoying most at the moment.
So you can say, so if you say right now, you don't mean for the year. You mean
right at this moment.
This second. Yes. Good.
That's the only way I can think about it, because there are
should
so
do-
many shows on TV, and they're just more and more coming. And I
just thought of a
don't
way
have
better
enough
one.
time.
We should just do best show on television right now, and it's whatever is on television right now. So it's usually going to be Friends. Flipping, so you're
Sometimes
flipping through the channels,
Seinfeld.
like middle of the day, Friends is on. Take a picture of the screen. Friends, best show on television.
The best
right
show on
now.
TV is
Tag
always
us.
either Friends, Seinfeld, Everybody Loves Raymond,
Yes.
or potentially like The Price is Right at 10 in the morning.
Man, I watched an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond last Sunday morning at the end of a weekend in Vermont. It was a bachelor party, bunch of us in a place we rented, and I was one of the first people up on Sunday. Just me and another guy, very hungover, and Everybody Loves Raymond was on TV. Nobody, it was too early for people to be talking. It was just the best. It was great.
We should do like what's the best show on network television right now at like 1:30 in the afternoon every day, and it'll be like Days of Our Lives.
So, like
or
a
General
soap?
Hospital.
Which one is Stephen A on? Is he on Days of Our Lives, or is he?
I think he's on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, he plays like a mischievous guy.
Yeah, he's like I think he's like a shady character.
I think that. Well, I think that he's always scamming on the cuties, macking on the cuties,
Macking on the honeys.
He's always he's like very like he does the old take their hand and kiss their hand thing.
Ooh.
Also,
Have you ever
shouts
heard
out Joe Biden. Everyone's mad at you.
Yeah, I know. What's it called? Approval ratings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we forgot to bring back approval ratings. As soon as we gave Cardi B, like, in the 90s approval rating, she just came out and said that she used to, like, drug people and rob them in hotels.
Cardi B approval rating is now...
in the red.
Yeah, and now she went from... What did I say she was? Probably 99?
You were like, I don't know a single person who has said a bad thing about
True.
Cardi B.
I still don't, even having heard that horrible story. You're the only person, you told me about that story. You're the only person I've heard say something bad about Cardi B. But ethically, that just drops her from 99 to 40 faster than anyone has ever fallen in the brunch approval ratings.
It's an all-time low.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get back to Barry.
Barry.
The cold open to the season premiere was one of the funniest things, like one of the funniest scenes of the past couple of years in Barry.
Yeah.
It was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
The dumbass hitman,
Whatever
thief?
he was.
The guy who works for Fuchs, who looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
At first I thought he was the guy. What's the guy's name in Walking Dead?
Lincoln?
No, he was the leader of the cannibals.
I don't know.
What was the place that was supposed to be the sanctuary?
Alexandria.
Yeah, he was the leader of Alexandria.
No,
Remember that
Alexandria
guy?
is the...
Oh, no. Alexandria is the
the-
woman from The Purge.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The one, like, in the first 2 or 3 seasons that they're going towards that. They keep seeing the signs.
Yeah, it's probably like season 3 or 4, and then they're there for a second, and we gave them a lot of credit for only making that
Like, very
one
quick, yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Gareth.
Gareth.
Yeah. He was the leader of Terminus.
Terminus, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
We should have known in hindsight that Terminus. That's a sketchy ass
an
name.
Ominous.
Yeah, that is an ominous name. So, yeah, Shaggy / Gareth shooting himself in the leg.
And the slow realization that he shot himself in the leg, not
Yeah.
like an immediate scream. He
Like
was
he
like,
stubbed
oh,
his
shit.
toe.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And then coming back to the hotel where Fuchs, like, just plays it insanely cool.
Yeah, my biggest talking point off of this episode of Barry, and seemingly how the season's being set up, is involves Fuchs, because season 1, I think they went into, and this happens all the time with shows, where they go in thinking this is what the construct will be, and then they realize, oh, this thing works, so we're going to do this instead, and they'll kind of shuffle it a little bit. The big example of that, Breaking Bad, Jesse was just supposed to be a kind of minor character in his way in, but instead they were like, let's make it about these two people. Season 1 of Barry, Stephen Root was seemingly like the running buddy of Barry, the yin to his yang, like the kind of other guy on the show, or I should say, like Barry's person in the crime world, where in the acting world it's Henry Winkler's character, and
he had like 2 mentors,
right?
So to speak. And in his criminal life, it was Fuchs, and in his new acting life, it was Henry Winkler,
right? But they realized in season 1 that NoHo Hank who is there seemingly to be comic relief, was just so great that they could maybe expand him. And I like what they're doing with NoHo Hank, because they're expanding him instead of just running him into the ground in his small kind of way. They're not John Ralphioing him. I like that. But I didn't like Fuchs in season 1. I thought that if there was one thing I would change about that show, is just to get rid of Stephen Root. Like, sorry, you've had a cool career. I don't love you in this show. Episode 1 of season 2, clearly NoHo Hank is like a main character. Fuchs now looks to be more of kind of the comic relief, and I thought that Fuchs was fucking hilarious. I thought the interrogation scene was the best scene of the entire episode, and that's saying something, because NoHo Hank put on a tour de force.
I thought the interrogation scene was very funny in the way that it was done.
Yeah,
but it did like sort of take me aback that like Stephen Root is now and Fuchs is now like this dumbass character. Because in season 1, he was smart.
Right.
Like,
he was calling the shots.
He's calling the shots.
Yeah.
He got Barry to where he is. He got himself to where he is.
Yeah.
He's clearly like pretty successful.
Yeah.
And he was running the show, and now he's like some dumbass who's like, hey, I'm not going to give you my DNA. I know the law. He like goes into depth about knowing the law and like knowing his rights and stuff like that, and then just puts down the can.
Two things. He is dumb by the end of season 1. They make him pretty dumb as it goes on. 2, while your point is correct, they did take him from seemingly being a smart guy to a dumb guy. That's also a very common thing as TV shows find their way in the first couple of seasons. Best example, Leslie Knope. She started off, or Jess Day in The New Girl.
Yeah.
Like, they start out some of these characters so dumb that it's impossible to believe that they're still alive. And then over time, they figure out what works, and usually they go from being like a 35-year-old stupid person to a 35-and-a-half-year-old pretty smart person.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, 35 years you couldn't get smart, and then in just a few episodes, you just figured it out. But yeah,
that scene was funny, but that was one of the standout scenes that I was like, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I loved that scene because you could see the joke coming a mile away, and by the time it happened, I still laughed out loud.
And it was done in such a not subtle. Well, I guess it kind of was.
Telegraphed the hell out of it.
Like, if you're a dumb person, you probably didn't get the punchline of that scene, but like, it was clearly done, and he was like, and he like holds out the can towards the camera. I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. It was
funny.
I
gotta say, Alec Berg is on a bit of a tear right now. I think that he or whether it's Bill Hader, whomever, like the writing, very, very good. The way so that scene, they're making it so clear to you what's going to happen, and that makes it that much funnier that the character is doing things, showing you like this is what is about to happen, and I myself don't get what I'm doing. That's hilarious. Also, someone brought up this point to me. Alec Berg maybe recycling a little bit of his jokes with NoHo Hank in the music, and
with Russ,
right, and Russ Hanneman in the music. But as long as it's a great joke, hilarious,
and two very different like executions of that one joke, where like it serves the character in a very different way,
right?
Whereas in for Russ, it was him listening
always
to
ridiculous.
What was he listening to?
Well, one was
Cut
Crazy
My Life
Town.
Into Pieces.
One was Crazy Town. He might have had Last Resort in there, but one was Butterfly, and one was is some '90s song. I don't know, do you?
Oh yeah, I alone.
It's like
or whatever.
Live or something.
Yeah,
one of those bands.
And then for for NoHo Hank, he gets in and it's like the poppiest song ever.
What song was it?
I don't know.
Barbie Girl? For some reason, I'm thinking
I don't
Barbie
think
Girl. It wasn't.
I don't think it was Barbie Girl, but it was like a very, very poppy song.
I forget.
It was like bubblegum pop. Could have been like Carly Rae Jepsen. It would have been great if it was.
I love NoHo Hank.
He's the best character on TV.
I'll offer you an apology.
He's the best character on TV right now.
He's so best, yes.
Which is true because I have Barry on the TV right now.
It's paused. I'll apologize to you because you were the only person last year who knew the character's name. I always found it so funny. I mean, even like you tweeted the other day, can't wait for Barry to come back. So because that means NoHo Hank is back. And I was like, that's right. Pete knows the name of that character. Whenever I talk about that show with anybody, everyone says like the bald guy, or like some people will know the actor's name, Anthony Kerrigan, and they don't know NoHo Hank's name. That was for sure me. He is such a good character now, and now seemingly he's such a big character that I will give you that you were the first to report that that character had a name. His name is NoHo Hank.
And now I think that maybe that's a common thing because I feel like they're making more of an effort to bring his name into the show on a regular basis.
I mean, people refer to him, just from talking to people last couple of days, people just call him Hank. But NoHo Hank is
way better
because it's a gangster name for this just sweet idiot.
Yeah, like he in the premiere, his first scene in the premiere, he's in that the Lululemon, and he's like, "It's me, NoHo Hank."
Yeah.
Which is like so unnecessary, but it's part of
Very
the joke.
Tobias as did you get to the Mrs. Featherbottom episode?
Yes, yeah.
He was like, Tobias, listen to me. And he's like, idiot, it's me, Tobias.
I also laughed at how well furnished their gangster clubhouse is.
Oh, yeah.
It is like a very like magazine catalog.
Yeah.
It's like home and decor.
I loved the picture of Hank and whatever the Bolivian leader was. Did you see that?
I don't think so.
At his little table, there's a picture of Hank and the Bolivian leader, like much like a married couple would have like their
yes.
wedding photo or whatever. It's amazing, and it was seemingly the only indication that there is like love going back and forth between those two. Because when NoHo Hank's writing that letter, there I go, I called him NoHo Hank. When Hank's writing that letter, you don't know if like how much does this guy like Hank back, or is it just like Barry 2.0,
right,
where he's just obsessed with him and the guy could take or leave him. Seemingly he is very good friends with that guy.
Yeah. Where do we think NoHo Hank goes? Because at the end of the first episode, he puts on a serious face.
That was great.
I'll tell you, man.
Great line.
Pretty fucking intimidating. I was waiting.
It went on long. They had to make it long, and it was long. They had to make it long to get you to that point where you're like,
okay,
man,
maybe
right,
we
like,
do have to take him seriously.
Power. Yeah. Like he's, but then again, they wrap it up with, "Do not fuck with me. It is not polite."
Yeah, it's so good.
Not polite, just like staring at him as he says it. Like
I was waiting for the punchline, and
then he gets in the car.
Yeah, that the not polite wasn't enough of a punchline.
I loved not polite.
I mean, it was a great, funny thing, but it didn't really like take you out of the wow, he can like be really threatening and intimidating. And then he gets in the car, and it's fucking the bubblegum pop song, and I was like, all right, this show's fucking awesome.
I also loved it. This was very Arrested Development that he received the bullet in the mail.
Yeah.
Remember that was the thing that he wanted to do so badly?
Oh, yeah, he wanted to send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't kill him until I get the notification
that he got the bullet.
Right, that it has been delivered. I found like that's a very Arrested Development thing, to take like a small stupid thing that one person does and then just make it like a universal like, okay, now they send each other bullets.
I also like that his first reaction was to like call them on the phone and be like, "Is this a mistake?"
Right, like what gives?
Yes, this is a joke. He's the sweetest guy ever.
Yeah, that was great. Barry checking on what's the teacher's name? What's Henry Winkler's name? Maybe we're not there yet with him. But when he checked on him and he was just miserable and wanted him out, that was funny. Really, every scene was
Gene.
That's right. Really, every scene was funny. What I find interesting is they seemingly Barry bought himself some time by killing the cop. And by the end of the premiere of season 2,
they're back on the trace.
As much progress as she'd made. They figured out all the stuff that she had just figured out.
Yeah.
So that surprised me. I figured that would be like they find that out later in the season. But
I'm glad that they did it right away, because we already went through that with the previous cop.
Yeah.
So like he quote unquote bought himself some time, but I like just getting back to that point so we don't have to go through that and go through that process again, and now we can just move forward.
But man, like now it is like dire for Barry.
You would think
because they've got him now.
Well, you
so
would
seemingly
think.
That would be like within 1 or 2 episodes they arrest him, or he has to kill a lot more people.
Yeah, I don't know where it goes, but like what else do they have on him other than that like grainy ass photo, which they now believe to be him.
Right. Well, I mean, I imagine they'll try to connect him to Fuchs.
I would imagine that they're going to try to connect him to the cop that was killed. Like, I feel like it's going to be more of a avenge.
Well, I mean, if they used Fuchs to get to Barry, because when the Cleveland connection,
right,
and they saw Barry in Gene's home. So, I mean, I think that they've got that, or at least like in a mind's eye, like they've got to know that Gene doesn't know that Barry has these crazy connections.
True,
certainly wouldn't be hanging around him when he was dating a cop. So yeah, seemingly like everything that he's done is should come to roost really soon.
I did forget about how much of a bad person that Sally is. The girlfriend.
I forgot how like shallow she is.
She's so like self-centered and just like she really does not care about
like
Barry.
An audition she had or an opportunity she had.
And they are relentless with that. I was wondering if they would maybe take their foot off the gas a little bit now that like they had their sort of getting together arc in season 1, and I wonder if that like maybe they would allow her to like actually fall for Barry and be like a genuine person.
Right.
If episode 1 is any indication, absolutely not. She's just pushing pedal to the metal.
Right. Yeah, if there's two things that you probably forget with that show, having had months off from it, it's that the dialogue from everyone is ridiculous. It's not just the funny people. Like, I should say every person is a funny person who's going to say ridiculous things. I was going to say with the exception of the cops, but the only 2 cops they showed were a couple of joke books this past episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other being, yes, that Sally is totally selfish, completely shallow, looks out for Barry here and there, but
like only when it serves her interests.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Great.
It's awesome.
Just a full great half hour of television. I'm very glad it's back. We were told we've got to watch, what's the Julianne Moore movie? Belladonna, something like that.
No idea.
It's something like,
who told us to watch that?
It's Julianne Moore. That's all I need. I'm seeing it.
Is it a new movie?
Yeah, it's like the movie that's out now.
Okay.
This is a slow time of season, man.
It's starting to pick up. Dumbo's out now. I want to see Dumbo. I also want to see The Beach Bum, which comes out this week.
Which one's that?
The one with Matthew McConaughey and Zac Efron, where they wear like.
Oh yeah,
that's coming out this week. This week. This weekend. I'm very excited about that. I heard that Dumbo and The Beach Bum were sort of in the same boat. We're like between 50 and 60 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
Which sort of aligns with the time of year that they're coming out, I suppose. But I'm still excited for both of them.
The only thing I know about either of those is Arcade Fire has a song in Dumbo. I don't know if it's an original song or if they're singing like When I See an Elephant Fly or something like that. Who knows? Gloria Bell is the name of the Julianne Moore movie. It is an hour and 42 minutes. It's rated R. It's a drama. Came out on March 8th, 2019. Let's see what else we can pull up on it.
Just a quick side note.
I think that P Times went away.
Oh, really?
Like look at this.
Well, that is out. I was just gonna say that's not out yet, but it is out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can't see it. It used to be you'd swipe up, right? And then
I thought you kept
swipe
swiping
to the right.
I thought you kept swiping like to the side.
Here it has, so here where it has the cast and crew.
Yeah, that is where it used
normally
to be.
you just swipe to the right.
Ooh.
Did
so no more
the
no
P
more
Times
run
go
P.
away?
I guess. I don't know, man.
If so,
cancel my subscription.
Yeah, and I don't always get up during movies. I just need to know that I have that option.
I had my first bad experience with the AMC app today.
Yeah?
Yeah. I attempted to purchase Avengers Endgame tickets this morning. Everybody was making a big deal, like, oh, keep an eye on when these go on sale. Keep an eye on when the Avengers Endgame tickets go on sale. They're going to sell it real quick. You're not going to be able to see it the opening weekend. I logged on Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. The AMC app wouldn't allow me to purchase the tickets. It was like basically down because of an overload. Apparently, they didn't anticipate the movie that everybody was talking about. Apparently, they didn't anticipate everybody logging on for the movie that everybody was talking about when the tickets come out. When was the last time you heard about, like, hey, make sure you get your movie tickets 2 weeks before the movie comes out?
Black Panther was the only one I could think of.
Yeah, but that wasn't like a crazy rush.
Oh, yeah, there was.
No, what? Like, I was able to drive to the theater that day.
This is bigger.
Yeah, like, it wasn't like wake up first thing in the morning to get your Black Panther tickets.
Oh, yeah, it was. All the shows were sold out weeks in advance.
I got mine in the afternoon.
When did you go to see it?
Like, opening night. Or that Friday.
Did you not see it in 3D or something? I don't know
I
what
didn't
it
see
was.
it in 3D.
I will tell you. I went to see it the day it came out, like that Thursday or whatever.
Yeah.
And those were...
I'm sure it was packed.
It was nightmare full. Like,
all I'm saying is that there wasn't like a, hey, rush to get these or else you might not be able to see it. That I didn't get that feeling for Black Panther. This was the first time that I had like felt this since the last Avengers. And so I logged onto the AMC app. It wouldn't allow me to do it. It took me 7 hours. 7 hours to actually purchase the tickets, and I didn't get them through the AMC app because I kept trying to refresh, and it still wouldn't work. Got a bunch of errors. It was happening for everybody. Ryan Lambert texted me, like Scott McLaughlin I talked to. It didn't work for him either. So I ended up having to go through Fandango and then enter my AMC A-List subscription number, and then they applied the discount. But at that point, I was ready to actually just pay for them. Finally worked. Took 7 hours. That's twice as long as Avengers, the movie, is going to be.
I was going to say...
3 hour long movie.
That story took 7 hours. No. Gloria Julianne Moore, is a free-spirited divorcee who spends her days at a straight-laced office job. But get this, her nights on the dance floor, joyfully letting loose at clubs around Los Angeles. After meeting Arnold, John Turturro, on a night out, she finds herself thrust into an unexpected new romance, filled with both the joys of budding love and the complications of dating, identity, and family. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 93%. It's got a 41% audience score.
Oh, shit.
Perfect.
Hell
that
yeah.
is just what I want. It also has Michael Cera.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that could be fun.
Julianne Moore and John Turturro seems like a weird pairing.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's good enough for Julianne Moore. Have you seen Us again?
I have not.
I'm going to see it again. I had a conversation with a coworker yesterday about it, and they were like peppering me with why I was wrong for saying just B+. Like,
oh, like they were on like the it's an A+ train,
right? They were like, "Have you considered this? Have you considered this? Have you considered this?" And they threw like 6 things at me that I was like, "Okay, I will see it again."
Okay, yeah, I feel like I'm open to bumping up my score, but I'm not open to saying that it's like perfect. And
right.
I feel like a lot of people are saying that it's like a masterpiece and it's perfect. And
yeah, I haven't kept up as much with how people are reacting. Yeah, I didn't.
I feel like a 95 is my ceiling for that movie.
Let's see what it is on Rotten Tomatoes.
And like obviously that's a really high ceiling, and it doesn't have a ton of ways to go to get there, but I don't think it's perfect.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 70% audience score. Interesting. See, I think that's that's certainly lower than I would think, the audience score, but
I think like the meeting point between those is sort of where I'm at.
Right. Yeah.
I would say probably like I'm high 80s, and I think that's what I said last week.
Yeah, that's what I said that it'd be like 87, something like that. But higher hopes for Gloria Bell, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Father.
Hello, friends.
Yeah.
Come on down. You look great. Hello. That I could not go wrong. Oh, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love. Oh, I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. Check it out, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. Oh, I believe I can fly.
Yeah.
I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. Oh, I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. Oh, I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Among other things, oh, see, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes silence seems so loud. There are miracles that I must achieve. But first I know it starts inside of me. Oh, oh, if I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, oh, there's nothing to it. Oh, I believe I can fly. What's that sound? I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. Oh, I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. Oh, I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe that I can metaphorically fly. Oh, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna put a couple wings on this cruise ship, and I'm gonna send it up in the air, even though it's heavy as hell. Yeah, because when I'm on the water, all I wanna do is be like one of them seagulls, fly around. I wanna reach above these waters. Oh, there's nothing to it, I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. Oh, I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. Oh, I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe it. Oh, I believe I can fly. Oh, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. Oh, I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you can fly or not. I don't believe if you grew up underwater. I want to thank this man for doing some dubious things to start a music festival on the water. I want to thank this Indian man for dressing out like Santa Claus. I want to thank pizza for ever being available in the cafeteria. I believe I can fly.
Yes. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
My God. Misty.